The Cold War is the closest the world has ever gotten to nuclear annihilation. The tension was extreme, and a Third World War almost broke out on several occasions. There were many, many smaller wars that were influenced by either power. In the end, it drastically changed American culture and leadership. The Cold War was an extremely high tension time where either side could have started another war at any time. But in the midst of the near destruction, many great leaders emerged and took control and changed the world for years to come. The Cold War was not only a near war, but actually many smaller wars influenced by either side. Wars such as the Vietnam War, the Costa Rican Civil War, the Cuban Revolution, the Six-Day War, and the Afghan Civil War. Many of these wars had legitimate soldiers from either power fighting to try and tip the balance between communism and democracy. There was also near wars such as the Cuban Missile Conflict and construction of the Berlin Wall. The Cold War produced many great leaders for America, great presidents in Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Richard Nixon. Three amazing presidents, all with different strategies on how to attack the issue of the near World War. Kennedy was all about trying to outdo Russia to boost American morale and patriotism, such as beating them to the moon. Dwight D. Eisenhower was a strong proponent of the atomic bomb and using it to destroy communist Russia, and Richard Nixon was a peacemaker. He was willing to do almost anything to bring peace between the two countries. The Near World War also drastically changed American culture. Negative stigma around Russia implemented itself. People would call things communist in a way to convey that they thought something was evil or wrong. If they were mad at someone, they would call them a commie. There was also a lot of the fear of the communist Russia as well. Many people were afraid that there were many communist spies in our government and that they were feeding information back to Russia on what kind of defense we had so they could strike at the right time or create the right weapons. Another thing that the major contributor to the tension was the arms race. Arms races aren't uncommon in the world. In fact, it is something that is always happening. But specifically during the Cold War, it was all about the nuclear bomb. Who had it, who had the most of them, who had the most reliable and devastating ones. There was a constant fear on both sides of getting attacked and not being able to defend oneself. During the period we refer to as the Cold War, tensions were high in the two biggest superpowers in the world. It was the closest we have ever gotten to nuclear annihilation in this world. It changed American culture and culture around the world. It proved the superiority of democratic economy compared to the communists. Thanks for watching.